Before there was Grandma's Cookies and before Legend of Carly, there was only one thing for certain. Oh my. Sorry, I know this doesn't, oh God. Superman and the Return of Lex Luthor, played by yours truly, Pierre Lucariello. Hi, I'm Pierre Lucariello of Film Cut Productions.
And this is David Rabinowitz.
And welcome to Fox Den. Today on our first episode of Fox Den, we are going to be reviewing a film that is near and dear to my heart, Superman and the Return of Lex Luthor. So, the Superman and the Return of Lex Luthor is actually a project I made when I was in high school. It was my final semester in high school, or I should say my final year in high school, where I learned that I wanted to make a short film. Of course, it has a lot of flaws.
You're not going to get away with this, Lex. Watch me.
Which we are obviously going to go into, making this show.
It was called Pound That Ass, Volume 1, The Ass Strikes Back.
So essentially it's about Superman and Clark Kent. He is basically trying to navigate high school life, and one of the problems that he's running into is that he has to kind of win over the heart of Lois, at the same time kind of keeping his secret identity as Superman. Because Lois, I'm Clark. It's funny saying that because I'm making it sound like it's a really good movie, but it's really not. At the same time, he's going to be facing against two big foes, Lex Luthor and Batman, which is crazy because if you think about it, I technically was the first one to do Batman versus Superman.
Why did you say that name?
Where's she, Lex? Before DC, so, suck on that.
I will point out right away, one of the first things I noticed I like was you had some scenes where you did like a little bit of a slow motion capture with the camera work, and I thought that looked really nice with the pan out.
There's actually a scene where I'm wearing the cape backwards, and it's actually in the dance.
Yeah, I didn't notice it at first.
Yeah, and it's funny because I didn't think about it when we were shooting it, but it just looks so goofy. Let's talk about the pros.
Man, there was a lot to dissect watching this, and we had to watch it back just so we could catch like little things as well. Well, for starters, we should just point out the elephant in the room. That god-awful haircut that Pierre was rocking back in the day.
I remember that haircut. When I first got that haircut, the idea was because I was trying to look kind of cool, and it didn't really work. So let's go ahead and get into like the cons of this movie, the bad of this movie.
I have a list.
First thing right out the gate, story.
Meet me in the dance room at Friday.
You think you can waltz up in my place of business and disrupt my work environment?
Just clean up. Sit down, clean up. Clean up, then sit down.
Oh, okay.
Sit down.
It makes absolutely no sense.
When they would have dialogue, it was just like, it kind of didn't make sense. It kind of felt like it was all over the place. Like, because there's one moment where they're dancing in the ballroom, and then towards the end, he goes to save her, and she's like locked up there in chains and whatnot. Superman saves her, and she goes, "Who are you?"
Yeah, another thing that was just terrible was a lot of it was rushed. Like you can definitely tell that this movie was absolutely rushed.
It kind of did give me that feel, but at the same time, that's what attracted me to the film more. One of the key factors of the film is that it's just fun. It's not giving the vibe that was meant to be taken seriously, despite all the like bad CGI, the bad green screening, and the bad dialogue.
But I think that the thing that its saving grace is that it doesn't take itself too seriously. We learn from it. It's a piece of history. As, Film Cut starts to grow, we have, Grandma's Cookies 2, Legend of Carly. Those all had to stem from something, and it all comes from, history, which is Superman and the Return of Lex Luthor. Let's go ahead and sign off here. I'm Pierre Lucariello.
And I'm David Rabinowitz.
And this has been the Fox Den.